Have you ever felt that something in your life has changed, but you can't explain what it is? People seem the same, the places look familiar, and yet there's a subtle, almost imperceptible sense that something is no longer quite right. Maybe you've crossed into another timeline. No, this isn't fiction. It's a possibility that quantum physics, neuroscience, and modern spirituality have been exploring for decades, and now human experience itself is beginning to confirm it. This video isn't about coincidences, it's about perception. And if you've made it here, it wasn't the algorithm, it was your vibration that brought you. Before we continue, make sure you subscribe to this channel, because you're about to understand one of the most mysterious and transformative phenomena in the universe, and how it manifests within you. Imagine the universe as a vast network of coexisting realities. Every thought, every emotion, every choice creates a new branch, a slightly different version of existence. In every second, billions of versions of you are living alternate stories, and all of them are real. But consciousness, that divine spark which observes and chooses, can only inhabit one line at a time. And that's where the mystery begins. Shifting timelines isn't a rational decision, it's a vibrational consequence. When your inner frequency changes, through pain, love, awakening, or collapse, the universe reorganizes itself to mirror that new vibration. And what you call life changes along with it. But how can you recognize when it happens? The first signal comes from the body. It senses before the mind understands. A subtle discomfort, an unexplained intuition, nostalgia for something you've never lived, echoes of another version of reality. You're literally remembering a different timeline. Many people describe this as seeing the world from a slightly new angle. Colors shift, details feel off, or daily life no longer fits. They say, "I swear it wasn't like this yesterday," and they're right. Because the yesterday they remember might no longer exist. These sensations, which mainstream science might label memory lapses or distraction, could actually be signs that your consciousness has jumped to a new reality. And here's the fascinating part. It's not rare. It happens all the time, but only the awakened can perceive it. Maybe you've already felt it, an object that disappears and reappears somewhere else, a friend who behaves completely differently, a historical event you clearly remember one way, yet now it seems to have always been another. These are known as reality glitches, tiny fractures in the coherence of a shifting timeline. But the flaw isn't in the universe, it's in our limited perception. While we believe reality is fixed, it actually moves like a vibrational hologram, constantly adjusting to the energy of the consciousness observing it. Now, I want you to stop for a moment. Breathe. Don't see this as curiosity. See it as a calling, because if you're watching this, it's likely you're already feeling the shift. You've begun to notice certain paths losing meaning, certain people drifting away, and a new version of you trying to emerge. That's a timeline change, and understanding it isn't just knowledge, it's power. Very few people on Earth have this awareness. Most keep repeating the same vibrational pattern, believing reality is something that happens to them, not something they create. But you're here, which means your consciousness has already broken through the old frequency. What you'll discover next is the bridge between the visible and the invisible, where physics meets the divine, and your power of choice becomes literal. So pay attention. Every sensation you've had in the past few days may not be just emotional. It might be quantum. To understand what's happening to you, you first need to accept one fact. Reality isn't solid. It only appears solid because your perception is tuned into a continuous stream of frequencies we call the world. But just as a video image is made of millions of individual frames projected at high speed, your experience is made of infinite possibilities projected by your consciousness. In quantum physics, there's a concept called the collapse of the wave function. Simply put, before it's observed, a particle doesn't exist in one single state. It exists in all possible states at once. Only when someone observes, when consciousness pays attention, does the particle choose a specific possibility. This isn't limited to laboratories. It happens with everything, all the time. Your life is a field of waves. Your thoughts are vibrational patterns. Your emotions are frequencies interacting with that field. And at every instant, you're collapsing one specific reality out of infinite possibilities. When your dominant emotion changes, your frequency changes. And when the frequency changes, the matching timeline becomes accessible. You literally tune into another version of the world, like switching a radio station. The building is the same, the people are the same, but the subtle reality, the situations, opportunities, outcomes, belongs to a different frequency. This is why some people report drastic life changes after intense emotional events. It's not just that they changed internally. They shifted timelines. And like a magnet, they began attracting circumstances coherent with that new vibration. But there's a detail few mention. The universe doesn't respond to what you think, but to what you feel as true. Your mind may repeat affirmations of abundance, but if your body vibrates scarcity, it's the scarcity timeline you inhabit. Your consciousness is the bridge, but emotion is the fuel. That's why the sensation of being somewhere else feels so physical. It isn't a thought, it's a frequency shift. And your body is the first to notice. Before your rational mind understands, your senses pick up the new vibrational signature. You feel out of place because you literally are out of place, not in physical space, but in the quantum space of possibilities. The good news is, you don't have to be a victim of these shifts. Once you understand the mechanism, you can choose consciously. Instead of falling into an unwanted timeline, you learn to tune in, stabilize, and expand the reality you want to live. This isn't metaphorical. It's practical, and it begins with what you're feeling right now. Breathe deeply. Feel your body. Notice your surroundings. Every sensation is a signal of which frequency you're broadcasting and which timeline you're inhabiting right now. When you become aware of this, the game changes. The next step is learning how to anchor yourself in the reality you want. And that's not just visualizing, it's vibrating. Visualization without emotion is like a radio turned off. It's emotion, gratitude, certainty, joy that switches the station on. And when you hold that vibration day after day, your consciousness doesn't just visit that new timeline, it locks it in. You don't have to wait years to see the changes. At every instant, the universe is being rebuilt around you. But only those who observe consciously perceive it. And that's why so few master the process. Not because it's hard, but because it requires presence, coherence, and practice. You're already feeling it. Now it's time to choose. Now that you understand reality is a vibrational field and your emotions are the key, the inevitable question arises. How do you stay stable in the timeline you've chosen? The first answer is presence. There's no conscious creation without full awareness of the present moment. Your thoughts, feelings, and perceptions are like commands sent to the quantum field. Every moment you're distracted, replaying old memories or anticipating future fears, you vibrate in the frequency of a reality that no longer exists. But when you return to the now, your consciousness aligns with the creative power. Breathe, look around, feel your body. Being in the now isn't a spiritual cliché, it's an alignment technology. It's in this moment, not the past, not the future, that you collapse reality. The second answer is coherent emotion. You don't just need to think positive or visualize. You need to feel in your body the emotion of the desired reality. Want abundance? Feel gratitude now, before it arrives. Want health? Feel vitality now, before it manifests. Want peace? Feel calm now, even in chaos. This is how you send the universe a clear vibrational signal. And the universe responds, not because you asked, but because you became compatible. The third answer is vibrational repetition. Each time you return to the emotional state of your desired reality, you strengthen that timeline's frequency, like carving a path through tall grass. At first it's narrow and rough, but each step makes it clearer. The same happens with your timeline. At first, you only visit it. Then, you inhabit it. Finally, you anchor it. But there's a fourth element, the one separating beginners from masters: detachment. You don't control the how and when. Your role is to choose vibrationally, align emotionally, and sustain that frequency. The universe, the quantum field, takes care of reorganizing the circumstances. The more you try to control details, the more you block the flow. When you trust, surrender, and stay in the right vibrational state, reality adjusts in ways the mind could never predict, and something magical happens when you maintain this practice. You begin to sense there isn't just one timeline. You feel, see, and live signs of being in multiple realities simultaneously. Synchronicities increase. Time seems to expand. The right people show up, doors open. It's as if you've discovered the game's code. In truth, you simply stopped being dragged by unconscious flow and started navigating consciously. This is multi-dimensional awakening. It's not a dramatic event or a supernatural power. It's a state of consciousness where you recognize that each emotional choice is a choice of reality. You're no longer trapped in the narrative of chance. You become the author of your own timeline. But a word of caution: the more you expand, the more responsibility you assume. Because now you know your vibration creates your world, and there's no going back. Every thought, every emotion is a seed, and you, consciously or not, are planting your future at every instant. If you feel you're already living this transition, if your life seems strange, if people have disappeared, if opportunities appear out of nowhere, understand, this isn't just luck. This is quantum physics applied to consciousness. It's proof you're on the right path. So right now, take a deep breath. Feel your heartbeat. Feel your body present. Be grateful to be here in this exact moment, receiving this message. You didn't get here by chance. Your consciousness called this knowledge because it's ready for the next step. Choose now which reality you want to live. Not tomorrow, not later. Now, feel it, vibrate it, live it. And watch. Doors that seemed closed will start opening. Paths that seemed impossible will materialize. People who seemed distant will appear. Because when you align with the frequency, the timeline comes to you. This is the true power of awakening. This is the point where science and spirituality meet, not as concepts, but as lived experience. And you, right now, are at the center of that meeting. If this message resonated with you, don't ignore it. It's a sign you're already in a new timeline. Use this moment as a vibrational anchor. Return to this state whenever you need it. And remember, the universe isn't something happening to you. The universe is something happening from you. In the end, it all comes down to a single truth. You are the meeting point between the visible and the invisible, the observer and the creator. Reality doesn't happen outside of you. It pulses through you, responding to the silent rhythm of your vibration. Every thought, every emotion, every breath is a seed of an expanding universe. And now that you know this, whatever you choose to vibrate, you also choose to live. Write in the comments, as a vibrational seal of this new timeline, I consciously choose the reality where everything flows in harmony. You're no longer searching for signs. You are the sign. The fact that you're hearing these words means your consciousness has crossed the point of no return. Nothing seen can be unseen, and nothing felt can be denied. The new timeline has already been chosen, and now the universe simply mirrors the decision born within you. The journey doesn't end here. It only changes form. Carry this vibration with you. And remember, everything outside is only a reflection of what you hold within. You are already the awakened creator.